Lock in here, chat. Next video. The bizarre death of the Peanut Butter Jelly Time singer.
In late 2001, a song was released called Peanut Butter and Jelly by the musical
Peanut Butter Jelly Time
duo The Buckwheat Boys and the producer Chipman. In 2002, the song took the internet by storm. Perhaps it provided the comfort people needed in a post-9/11 world. The song's popularity came from a viral video of a flash-animated banana dancing to it. And
What is the actual song like, though? Is it just that repeated for like 2 minutes straight?
I sincerely apologize if you've spent the last 22 years trying to get that song out of your head. But you probably don't know that it was actually a nuanced political commentary on the military-industrial complex, with the
What? Peanut Butter Jelly Time was a political point.
peanut butter symbolizing the US government and the jelly being Lockheed Martin. I'm kidding, the song was pretty much
Okay.
meaningless. But it has maintained a strong legacy over the years, appearing on Family Guy, being featured in several ad campaigns, and now even influencing a skin in Fortnite. Unfortunately,
Did the Peanut Butter Jelly Time banana influence the Fortnite banana skin? I don't know. I don't know if those two are correlated.
peanut butter and jelly in question comes with a glass of deeply depressing milk. And that's because in late 2002, the singer of Peanut Butter and Jelly died in a police standoff.
What?
The Buckwheat Boys originally consisted of Jermaine Fuller and Marcus Bowens, with 2 other members later being added. Here's a picture of the 2 founding members, and here's a picture of Jermaine Fuller, the subject of our story. And I'm sorry that these are some of the lowest quality images you've ever laid eyes on, but I guess the song wasn't called Peanut Butter and High Definition Cameras.
Y'all ain't know this. What do you mean y'all ain't know this? Like, this is just common knowledge that the Peanut Butter Jelly Time singer, Jermaine something, died in a police standoff in 2002. Who the fuck knows that?
Our story starts on a warm August night in Las Vegas, when a man flagged down a police officer to tell him that he had just been confronted by another man wielding a gun. The gun wielder was Jermaine Fuller, who had fired a shot at the guy but missed. Based on the description of Fuller, another police officer recognized him at a bus stop and got out of his car to talk to him. But Jermaine Fuller whipped out his gun and shot the officer in the head and chest.
What?
Thankfully, the first bullet only grazed the side of the cop's head, while the other one hit him in a bulletproof vest, rendering the officer virtually unharmed. Meanwhile, another police officer pulled up to the scene only for Fuller to shoot at him as well. This time, the bullet went through the car's windshield
He didn't fucking get up and leave. He just sat at the bus
and
stop.
across the officer's shoulder, reportedly shredding the fabric on the cop's uniform, but leaving him untouched. So, with all 3 people he fired at being completely fine, it's safe to say that Jermaine Fuller wasn't exactly a sharp shooter. I guess they were right when they said he was a one-hit wonder.
This guy's got some jokes. This guy's got some jokes. I like this guy.
Anyway, Jermaine Fuller then
He's a one-hit wonder. Yeah, because you can't hit anything.
made his way over to an apartment complex near the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. He forced his way into an apartment and took the 2 men living there hostage. And I
He
can
didn't just go back to his house.
only assume it was an extremely traumatizing experience for the 2 hostages, although probably not as traumatizing as attending UNLV. Once the cops realized where Fuller was, they evacuated the entire complex and sent in a SWAT team. And I'm sure everyone living there was thrilled about having to get out of bed in the middle of the night on a Monday because the singer of Peanut Butter Jelly Time was holding their neighbors at gunpoint. And this was when
Yo, did y'all see Justin Timberlake got a DUI? He got a DWI, not a DUI. Driving while intoxicated. He said he had 1 martini. I mean, how drunk do you think he was off 1 martini? I mean, you probably could get a DUI off that. It's just whether or not he was lying or, like, he was at, like, .08. And they were just like, yeah, DWI. Travis got arrested in Miami?
the standoff began.
For what?
The police surrounded the apartment, but
People saying Travis got arrested for what? A DWI as well? He got arrested for disorderly intoxication. That is hard. That means he was, like, rowdy, right? He got arrested at 1:44 in the morning for being too drunk and trespassing. Bro, you know how drunk you have to be to get arrested for being drunk? Like, you have to be walking around like fucking screaming at people. Like that's you have to be like, oh, fuck you, dude. Just like walking around in the middle of the night, just fucking, and trespassing. Yeah, but realistically, you just fucking walk away. Oh, he just said he wouldn't yell. He wouldn't leave. He was yelling obscenities when they told him to leave. Meh, whatever. Just being drunk, getting in problems.
Fuller refused to exit peacefully. After about an hour, the two hostages managed to escape by diving out a window. Although they were on the first floor, so let's not give them too much credit here. Even with the hostages being gone, the police still couldn't enter the apartment because Fuller was in there firing shots. He even moved furniture to barricade himself inside.
Wow.
A police negotiator tried convincing—
You know what I don't get, though? Is, like, if you're in a police standoff, what's the plan? You know? Like, is it that you're just gonna barricade yourself in there for the rest of your life? I wonder what his issue was that caused this. I don't know, but I'm saying, like, if you hold somebody hostage in, like, a bank robbery, you're just trying to get money and then leave. But if you're, like, you shot a police officer and now you're held up in a fucking building, it's like you're too far in to where, like, okay, now you're not gonna be able to get away.
As strange as this whole thing might seem, it hasn't even reached its weirdest moment. At some point during the standoff, Jermaine Fuller contacted a local TV news station, perhaps assuming that his story was receiving coverage. But considering—
Oh my God, don't tell me it wasn't. Yo, ABC News, you got me on the air, right? No? Who is this? Jermaine. Jermaine who? From Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Yeah, the song? What song? With the banana. Oh, the banana. What happened? They're holding me hostage. Well, actually, I was holding somebody hostage. Okay, well.
Considering this was in Vegas, it probably wasn't even in the top 10 most interesting things happening at that moment. Still, he told the TV station that he had a famous relative who he wanted to talk to. That relative was his brother-in-law, Calvin Brodus, also known as Snoop Dogg.
His relative is Snoop Dogg's name is Calvin Brodus? Bro, I'm always, like, astonished when it's always with rappers because they always have the nicknames. But it's like, what's, like, Lil Uzi's real name? Samir Woods. It's like another rapper. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's real name, though, is Dwayne Carter. Like, that's not that shocking. Some actors, though, like Vin Diesel real name is Mark Sinclair. We've talked about that. Like, a lot of actors change their name legally to something that's a better stage name. Kirk Douglas. Dove Cameron used to be Chloe Hoffman. See, what the fuck made her change her name to Dove Cameron when her real name was Chloe Hoffman? John Legend's real name was John Stevens. Nicki Minaj, but hers was just Onika Minaj. Charlie Sheen used to be Carlos Estevez. Carlos Estevez. Like, how are they coming up with these names? Miley Cyrus's real name is Destiny Hope. Or it was. She changed it. Miley Cyrus used to be named Destiny Hope. What? Like, that's what I just don't get. Bruno Mars. Peter Hernandez. Where are we getting these name changes from? Bruno Mars used to be known as... Bruno Mars' real name is Peter Hernandez. Where is Bruno Mars? Dude, Travis Scott? What? Professionally known as Travis Scott. He is legally known as... How do you say this? Jaquez? Jaqui. How do you say that? Jaqui. How do you say that? Jock? That would just be Jock. Jock Berman Webster II. Where's Travis and Scott come from? What's Post Malone's real name? Austin Richard Post. That's not like, that doesn't surprise me because Post is in his name. When it's like, Snoop Dogg, yeah, no shit, he wouldn't be fucking named Snoop Dogg. But it's like, Peter Hernandez, Bruno Mars.
That's right, Snoop's wife Shantae is Jermaine Fuller's sister. And Jermaine decided to turn to Snoop in his darkest hour, like so many of us have. And the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department decided to roll with it. They reached out to the LAPD and requested help with this odd situation. So in the middle
What the
of
fuck is Snoop Dogg gonna do for him? Yo, man, I'm in a police standoff in Vegas. All right. What do you want me to do about it?
the LAPD sent someone to Snoop Dogg's house to ask for his assistance, and Snoop was reportedly very willing to help, presumably after he had finished frantically hiding several ounces of weed. The LAPD put Snoop in touch with the police negotiator, who asked Mr. Dogg to record a message urging his brother-in-law to surrender. Snoop did exactly that, reportedly telling Jermaine Fuller, "Do what they say. We've got lawyers to take care of this. We'll take care of it."
Could a lawyer get you out of a police standoff where you tried to fucking shoot 4 cops? I don't know. I don't know if a lawyer, like, I don't know if Jayoma could get you out of that. I think Jayoma could get people out of a lot of things. I don't know about shooting 4 police officers, holding two people hostage, and then getting in a police standoff. Jayoma could do it. Jayoma films a video the next day. He's like, "So what were you getting accused of? Attempted murder against 4 officers, burglary, breaking and entering, holding 2 people hostage, and doing a police standoff, and having a gun that was unregistered. And what did you end up getting charged with? Nothing. He got people out of sexual assault cases and worse. Yeah, but Jayoma getting one guy out of one sexual assault case is easier for him than getting a dude out of holding 2 people hostage, trying to kill 4 cops, and then breaking into somebody's house and fucking standing off and getting a SWAT team to come. Like, they're too, like, I understand Jayoma can get people out of things, but it's probably easier for Jayoma to get people out of sexual assault allegations than you actually holding people hostage.
And the police
allegedly. I love how they say that too. Jayoma will be interviewing them. He's like, "What do you get accused of?" "Well, allegedly, I rubbed my whole body with Nutella and ran naked through a public park." "And what did you get charged with?" "Stealing the Nutella." That's it, though. Innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah. No, I agree with that. I believe that is just the right that every citizen should have.
Wasn't enough to convince him to surrender.
And I will say, I think there are situations where people aren't. Where people are guilty until proven innocent, which I think is the reverse of what it should be. But I mean, it really depends on the situation.
Maybe he thought Snoop would tell him to sneak out the air vent or something. Around 10 a.m.
Snoop Dogg, he's like, "Record a message for me." He goes, "Okay. Okay, based on the diameter of that vent, I think your body's going to be able to fit through it. If you're able to hold them off for 2 days and maybe find some laxatives, maybe lose 3 to 4 pounds, 4.7 pounds, you'll be able to fit through that vent. When you crawl through that vent, I'm going to make a noise distraction to where they think you're still in there. Then you're going to crawl out of that vent, you're going to get out of there, and I'm going to have a helicopter waiting for you 4 miles away. You're going to have to hike through the woods. But once you get there, we're going to take you to Argentina."
The SWAT team entered the apartment with tear gas and flashbangs, only to find Jermaine Fuller dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And I'm sure the residents of that apartment were thrilled to be let back in after they had been held at gunpoint, escaped
Stark for the 3. Dove Cameron changed her name because her dad committed when she was 15 and he would call her Dove. That is so sad. That is so sad. Oh my god. See, like, that's like a reasonable, that makes sense. Oh my god.
through a window, had their walls shot up, had their furniture used as a barricade, and then had someone shoot themselves inside the apartment.
Wait, what? He killed himself?
Only to find Jermaine Fuller dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And I'm sure the residents of that apartment were thrilled to be let back in after they had been held at gunpoint, escaped through a window, had their walls shot up, had their furniture used as a barricade, and then had someone shoot themselves inside the apartment. Not to mention that they were still students of UNLV. The sad passing of Jermaine Fuller also marked the end of the Buckwheat Boys, who split up instead of carrying on without their bandmate. Truly the Led Zeppelin of their time. There's very little information about the other members, but the archive of their now extinct MySpace page reveals what happened to them. According to the bio, the band's co-founder Marcus Bowens, quote, found God, turning into one of Gumbo, Alabama's most respected gospel artists. As nice as that sounds,
Gumbo, Alabama. Gumbo, Alabama. I mean, that's like an accurate what happened. One of Gumbo, Alabama's most respected gospel artists. Not the most respected. How many respected gospel artists are in Gumbo, Alabama? Is that like a hard fucking workspace to get into? Is that like you got to wedge yourself in there? You got to fight up the corporate ladder to be on the top of Gumbo, Alabama's gospel artistry? What is their population? Let's take our guesses. Is that even a real place? Gumbo, Alabama. Is that not a real place? Gumbo, Alabama is not a real fucking city. No, this is a fucking business named Gumbo. Gulf United Metro Business Organization. Why would you name your fucking business acronyms to spell out Gumbo?
Dougie Williams, the drummer of the band, quote, turned his pain inward and took it out upon himself. His lust for women and drugs grew threatening to his health, and on November 14th, 2003, was admitted to a shelter for drug offenders. Jeez, I guess it wasn't always peanut butter jelly time for these guys. But to end on a nice note, the MySpace page said that the keyboardist J.J. O'Neill pursued his dream for music stardom and found his way on stage. JJ is now headlining his local theater's rendition of Cats.
His local theaters and he only plays Cats? Like he doesn't, like there's no other plays that he does, it's just only Cats?
The paths of life. They may be windy, but they always guide us forward. May we all end up in the places we most belong. May we all one day find our local theater's rendition of Cats.
Or go to Gumbo, Alabama and see one of the most respected gospel artists. Alright, let me actually listen to what other songs the Buckwheat Boys have come out with. They came out with one called Ice Cream and Cake. It's literally just the same beat as Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Bro, I really don't think that's a good song at all. But like, if I'm being real, that's like a horrible song. It's like a meme thing. It's like Nyan Cat. Alright, next.